This is the plaintiff, Lori Newman. She says she hired the defendant's company to do some paneling and flooring work around her house. The defendant completed some of the job. She's lost her patience waiting for her to finish and is suing for a refund of the $550 she's owed. This is the defendant, Valerie Barris. She says she started the job, but she can't subject her workers to the woman's home because of the deplorable condition it's in, not to mention the stench. Once the woman has the house professionally disinfected, she can complete the job, but until then, no way. She's accused of not finishing up. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $3,500 for loss of work.
All parties, please raise your right hands. People's Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Milian is now presiding. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
All right, Ms. Newman, you are suing Ms. Burrells of Clean Lines Painting for the return of a deposit for work she didn't do. How is it that you came to hire Ms. Burrells to do work on your home?
Okay, I was upgrading my house at the end of 2019, going into 2020, the beginning, and I hired premier painters to come and paint my house, the inside of it. Well, what happened was...
Okay, wait, I'm sorry. Stop. Are you talking about a different contractor?
No, I'm telling you how I met her.
Okay, is the name of her company... You said Premier Painting. Who is that her company?
That's who I originally hired.
Okay, yeah, let's not muddy the waters. Let's start. You ended up hiring Ms. Burrells from Clean Line Paintings to do what work at your house?
Well, I didn't personally hire her yet. That's what I was trying to tell you. Is that they subcontracted her to come and paint.
That's how you met her, because she was subcontracted to paint by your painters. That's fine. And then so you met her and you hired her to do what additional work?
I hired her to do paneling in my kitchen.
Paneling in the kitchen. And
when we moved in.
And what floors? That's all right.
My bathroom floor and my kitchen floor.
Okay, so bathroom floors and kitchen floors and and paneling in your kitchen, correct?
Right.
Okay. And did you have one or two separate contracts for that work?
I think I submitted both of them.
So there's two separate ones, one for the floor?
And how long it's been.
Okay. So the one for the floors is up, and this is a $650
right, and I think
total contract.
February.
And that was signed March 6th of 2020. That's when it was signed. That's when you gave the deposit. And then a funny thing happened right after March 6th of 2020. And that would be, we ended up in a worldwide pandemic. So did she eventually do the floors?
Right. What happened was after we got the virus, when that came, I said that
after you got the what? The virus. Okay.
After the pandemic.
After the pandemic hit, right?
Which started right after we signed the contract. I said, let's put it on hold because we had a lockdown in the state. And,
Can I ask you a question? You guys put it on hold, but then when do you finally tell her, okay, let's do the floors?
Well, if you see from the timeline I gave you, okay, she didn't actually do them to November.
November?
Because every time right.
Did you do the floors, and was it not until November, Ms. Barris?
We did do the floors, probably right around November. She's probably right.
Okay, why did it take from March to November?
Her that pricing. I'm sorry, when I originally gave her that pricing on that contract, she knew that I went in there as a subcontractor for another company, and that this job, if she didn't want to pay full price, getting that extremely discounted price,
that it would take a while, this was 9 months, and floors are being put in before November. Listen to me, Ms. Barris, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
I know you end up doing the floor, and I know the floor isn't done until November of 2020. The lawsuit, I take it, Ms. Newman, is because the walls have never been done, correct? Mm-hmm. So, Ms. Newman, I'm talking to you now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right. What is it? What happened with the walls? Tell me what happened with
Okay,
that.
as far as the wall, okay, when they first came to paint back in January, that's what I started to tell you, there was wallpaper on the wall, which we didn't know about from the other people that we bought the house from. And that they said, she said, oh, don't worry, we can put the paneling right over the wallpaper. What was greasy was the bottom of the baseboards, but we said, forget it, we'll just leave that the way it is. She did have someone come and start to put up the paneling, which is a picture I sent to you. It has the 3 paneling. It was put up the wrong way, so she didn't have time.
What makes you say that it was put up the wrong way?
Well, she said it was put up the wrong way.
Okay.
It was put up across instead of up and down. And
it was put sideways instead of up and down.
Right, so she didn't have enough to finish the kitchen. That was the day, I don't know if that, because she's only been at my house twice since in this year. She's only been there twice, once to do the floor, and I don't even remember what the other time was. But you see how it is sideways? You know, wrong way?
Yeah.
Well, anyway, when she came back from wherever she was, the guy got mad and walked off the job, and they never finished it. That's been like that. So, she was supposed to come back and finish it. And I started running out of patience.
Okay, running out of patience. You waited a year and a half. You don't know running out of patience. Let me ask you, Ms. Barris, tell me what the problem was here with the walls, because that's the dispute. The floors are done. The problem is the walls. Tell me what the problem was.
Floors were done. Floors were actually done the same day we started the walls. The reason we could not finish the walls and the reason that they did it that way is because we couldn't get anything to stick to the walls because the amount of grease, feces, cockroach remnants with all of the photos that I sent in.
Let me see the photos that you sent in.
There were numerous photos. And the reason that the guy walked off the job was because he was refusing to get close to the ground in the conditions that it was in. He was done. That's grease and God knows what. And then.
Right, but whose job is it to clean that? Is it your job or her job?
It is her job, and she hired 2 cleaning companies who both refused to enter her home because of the conditions. If you keep going through the photos, that's cockroach eggs. If you keep on going, there's another one from that's just it ripping away from the walls because of the amount of grease. That's feces. That, if you zoom in, the next one is zoomed in. That's cockroaches. That is a roach trap on top of the cabinet that I am supposed to be putting.
Right, but that has a solution. You give her back her money and say, I'm not doing this, or you tell her you need to clean it or I won't do it. But neither of that happened. You haven't done it and you didn't return her deposit. Did you ever tell her, hey, you need to clean this? Did you ever tell her that? Did you ever tell her that? Did you ever tell her the job can't be done because you need to clean this? At any point in time, when you put that paneling or your guy put the paneling in wrong, because your guy put the paneling in wrong, right? Put it that way instead of this way.
No, it wasn't wrong. I was just trying not to be as cruel because I had already told her numerous times and she told me how horrible she felt. She was practically in tears telling me that she couldn't get anyone in there to clean and he quit. So I told her that I would remove that paneling, that I would go buy a different kind of paneling that is lighter weight, because it didn't matter what I used, nothing would stick to those walls in the condition they were in. And I couldn't really drill through walls into exposed wiring. And there were exposed wires.
So you didn't want to nail it. You needed to adhere it. Okay, I understand that. But I got to tell you, I looked through hundreds of texts between you guys. I don't recall ever seeing you telling her. Just a second, let me talk. I don't recall ever seeing you telling her, you need to clean. I can't get anybody in there. It's disgusting. There's feces. There's this.
Those were phone calls.
Oh, those were all phone calls.
Those were phone calls. And those were conversations that were had when I was subcontracting from premium painters.
Okay, that's almost a year earlier. Okay, you got hired to do the floor and the walls on March 6th of 2020.
Exactly.
So, okay.
Floors were
So,
complete.
right. So the question is why I'm in 2021 and you haven't done it. And if the answer is because I can't get her to clean her house, then tell me that. And then let me prove to me that you kept telling her that. And she's breached the contract by not cleaning. But that's not what I see in the text. Let me tell you what I see in the text. What I see in the text is very different. I see in May, your excuse is I tore my rotator cuff, which if it's true, that's a very good reason. Right.
It's ripped.
In July 3rd, it was and you had appointments to be at her house, and it's and she's waiting for you, and then it's oh my gosh,
She has photos.
I had a car crash, and you send her photos.
She has photos
I
of
saw
my head
it.
on
I
collision
saw
that
it.
day.
I saw it. On July 15th, your excuse is it's raining too much. I can't get over there, even though you had an appointment that day. On July 24th, you had an appointment and your excuse is I can't get a babysitter. Then it goes on and on and on. And you say she kept canceling, but truly, I never see her canceling. I see you saying I can be there Friday and her saying, like I said before, Friday's bingo. And she doesn't want to schedule it on Friday. But honestly, you continuously told her, I wish all my customers were like you. You are so patient.
Exactly.
Right. So if you haven't done the walls and you don't want to do the walls, why don't you just return her deposit for the walls? Because at some point, she finally said to you, you know what? My patience has run thin. Return my deposit. Go ahead.
Her deposit on that is a non-refundable 50% deposit.
Oh, not if you don't do it.
Materials.
No, not if you don't do it. If you don't do it, you breach.
If I purchase the
no,
materials,
you can
the
say
materials
that.
won't
No, you
stick
can
because
say
the
that.
walls are
All right,
disgusting.
I want you to think about this. You hire me to go do your tiles. Listen. You hire me to go put tile into your house, and you pay me $2,000, and that's a 50% deposit. I go out and buy tiles, but I say adios to you, and I never do anything. What is the value to you of that?
I did do things.
Well, you didn't do the walls. You didn't do the walls.
On numerous occasions.
Darling, you didn't do the walls. You got paid. You got a deposit to do walls. Then give back the money.
But I've already purchased materials. Why should I be out the money when she hired?
If I believed you that the reason why the walls weren't done is because the walls were filthy, I might buy what you're saying, but I don't believe you.
Did you see
I've
the
read
pictures of the walls?
I saw the pictures, but I see the text. Okay, now you see my mouth moving, right? Okay, I saw the text, and not once did you tell her that she needed to clean. In fact, there's in your answer to the complaint. Yeah, but I'm not going to buy that. See, because I see how you just keep making excuses. So when you say, I said that, but I have no proof. Watch this. Did she ever tell you that the reason she couldn't do your walls is because you had to clean the walls, Ms. Newman? No. Yeah, no. I know that because your communication is by text, and nowhere in the text does it say that. Now, the photos that she showed me, when were those photos taken, Ms. Newman?
Because of the condition of the walls?
When the ones that I sent you?
No, the ones that I put up, like this one. Look at it right now.
The day we went in for the wall.
I have no idea.
Okay. Well, is that how it looks up there? Because you should clean it if it does. That's gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, probably a little while ago because we have an exterminator and we don't have any more roaches at all.
Okay.
So, I mean, the roach problems, we had the same exterminator for like the last 2 years.
So you see this where the wallpaper's ripping and there's a dark whatever. I mean, look, if that's how it looked when you came in and gave a quote, then that's how it was. So I don't see how that's an excuse.
Was not. There was furniture in there.
Ms. Barris, show me something.
Equipment in there.
All I need you to do is prove to me that the reason you haven't been able to do the walls in a year and a half, that the reason you haven't been able to panel the walls you got paid a down payment for is because she has to do something. Show me once. Show me proof of that at all. Don't show me pictures that you took early on. Just show me how you told her, hey, lady, the delay is you. Because when I see the text and I just see a bunch of excuses, it doesn't sound like the delay is her.
My phone was damaged. It got dropped in paint. I do not have old text.
You don't have any of the text.
We just started messaging after that. After July, after my car crash, my phone was done after that. I had another phone that was damaged in a bucket of paint. I run a painting company. I lose phones. I usually communicate over the phone so I can actually talk to my clients. Now,
That's great, but here's the thing. I have tons of communication. So if it looks like a duck and quacks like a duck and walks like a duck, it's a duck in my book. So I'm going to need everybody to stop talking. Everybody stop talking but me, because my lips are moving. So everybody stop talking but me. Of course there was a pandemic. Of course, if it was April of 2020 and she was demanding her money back, I'd tell her, don't be ridiculous. There are extenuating circumstances. But it is not April of 2020. And the job is still not done. You tell me, well, it's not done, Judge, because there's something she needs to do, and that's clean the walls. Except for that in your answer to the complaint, you say, well, I was just trying to find someone to clean the walls and I couldn't. So I don't know that that was her job. I don't know that it wasn't yours. I don't know whose job it was. I don't care whose job it was. So here's the thing I'm confused about. Ms. Newman, why are you suing for $550 when I look at the documents of what you paid for the walls? Your deposit for the walls appears to have been
$200.
No, everybody's wrong. $300. It's right on the piece of paper. On February 5th of 2020, you paid a $300 deposit for the walls.
Right. I paid altogether $850.
Now, I don't care what you paid altogether. You paid it. Oh, I do care. All right, go back. You did what?
No, I paid
No, you paid $950. No, you paid altogether $950 because you paid fully for the floors $650 and you paid $300 for the walls. Now you saying no? How much did you get from her, Ms.
$850.
Okay, so if you're both saying $850, it's $850.
Everything. She just kept giving me money.
Okay, so that's why you're saying,
and she would have to leave.
All right, hold on. If everybody stop talking. If you're both on the same page that what she paid was $850, that's good enough for me. If she paid $850, the job for the floors was how much, Ms. Newman?
$650.
Ms. Newman and only Ms. Newman.
Okay. The reason why
Ms. Newman, the job for the floors, the total was what, $650?
Well, I don't know. I don't have the thing in front of me.
Okay, I do. And according to the contract, the floor was $650. So that would mean that the deposit the only cash of yours that is in her hands, okay, is $200. If you paid $850 and you only got floors worth $650. So it's just $200 that she owes you. Now you have a counterclaim against her. Seriously? Ms. Barris, you have a $3,500 counterclaim against her. For what?
Yes. If you do read the texts and the messages, I offered her $200. I said, look, I'll give you $200 back, but that's the only thing you paid a deposit. I said, honestly, I can't come back to your house.
What I want to know is why does she have to pay you $3,500?
Well, because she refused my offer, demanded over the price of the contract, demanded over the price of the deposit, and then filed a civil suit against me, costing me time, money, trips out there, wasted time.
No worries. No, we're done. Everybody's done. We're done. We're done. Stick a fork in me. I'm done. Okay? Here's what's going to happen. The only money of yours that Ms. Barris still has is $200 because you have a contract to do floors for $650. The floors were done. There were no complaint on the floors anywhere in any of the texts. You paid her $850. She acknowledges receiving $850. Then that means that the only thing she still has of yours is that extra $200. I am going to order her to pay you that $200. Plus, of course, your filing fee. So I'm finding in your favor, Ms. Newman, in the amount of the $200 because that's the deposit. And I find that she cannot prove to me that you're the one who breached the contract by not cleaning versus she's the one who breached the contract by never doing it in a year and 2 months. A year and 2 months is plenty with a pandemic. So now I don't care. You don't seem to understand. A deposit is non-refundable unless you breach the contract. You breach the contract, you got to give the money back. $200 verdict for the plaintiff on your counterclaim against her, $0.
Well, her breach of contract is on the back of the contracts.
Ms. Barris, let me ask you, do you understand the judge's decision finally? You kept yelling at her. You got to give $200 back, period. End of discussion.
I couldn't finish.
What did you want to say? Well, there wasn't anything left to say to her.
The contract was stated on the contract that the homeowner has to abide by their end prior to me stepping foot in. And anyone who expects me to work around roach eggs and fecal matter, that's a common sense thing.
Ms. Newman, let me ask you something. There's been an awful lot of talk here about how about your house was so dirty people wouldn't work in it. You haven't responded to that. What do you think? Is there any truth to that?
Okay, first of all, I have a cleaning company. I never had one come in and say, I'm not going to touch it because of the walls. And she never, ever said to me during the CNAF, oh, I can't come because your walls are so dirty. She always had personal problems, and I just got tired of it already.
All right. Well, look, I could ask you more about it, but I think it's best to leave it that way. Thank you very much. Good luck.
Okay.
You get $200, and I hope you get your house cleaned at some point, okay? So somebody can come work in there.
Well, no, I have a good cleaning company that comes in
Okay,
once
good.
a month.
All right.
So.
Very good. All right. Thank you very much. Good luck to you.
So, Doug, if somebody does a job, but they screw up a portion of it, the damages are what it cost to make the job complete and good. And in this case, because the walls were not paneled and they were dirty, the defendant is going to have to pay to make it right.
Judge Milian, how many times have you fallen down in court? I've seen you do it at least once.
Yeah, I took a big header, and my executive producer very helpfully decided to put it on. Yeah, he aired it.
Right.
And I think our eldest daughter texted his eldest son and said, "What's the meaning of this?" When she saw it on Facebook or Instagram or something. But it's hard. You know, there's steps. You're running up and down. You're walking down. I'm in high heels, you know.
Every judge has to go up steps. There's always a couple of steps.
Yes, because we have to be way above y'all, so you can, so we can, you know how much more important we are than you. You know, this goes back to the old ages, but yeah, but I'm not good with steps.
No, you're, you know, with balance and things like that.
Yeah, I'm not the best. I never have been. I've kind of been klutzy.
Yeah,
it's happened several times.
So it's happened a couple times on the show where you felt?
It's happened twice on the show.
Right.
And it's happened at home.
Once in a while.
Yeah.
It's never. I have never fallen in my 16 years or so on the bench. I never fell going up the stairs. I think I almost did once or twice, just because it can be tricky. But I never actually fell. But once when I was on the bench, my judicial assistant Carmen came out and she fell like right on her face, bringing me something.
Oh, did she hurt herself?
No, she was fine. But like every man in the entire courtroom came rushing over to help her.
Yeah, which I'd like to think they do anyway, but Carmen was a hottie. In fact, if I recall correctly, the day I met her, I looked at her because you had hired her, and I came in to bring you a little refrigerator. And I had a ponytail on and sweat clothes because it was the one cold day in Miami, and I'm bringing out the fridge. She comes with a cart, and I looked at her. I said, girl, you are so lucky I did not see you before he hired you, because you would never be working for him. You know?
That might be true.
She was lovely, inside and out.
She was terrific. Yeah.